That was filmmaker Razel Benally. Going south to New Mexico, the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center is investing in agriculture. It offers free training and resources for Native farmers. ICT's Mackenzie Allen Charnley spoke with Marianne Billy. She's the Cultural Center's Special Project Manager.
To begin, tell us more about this program and what people can expect from it.
Well, yes. So here at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center, we are working on developing out programming and facility to support our local Native entrepreneurs. And we decided to go heavy on focusing on food and farm businesses. So this first set of trainings will be to support them kind of in a generally speaking with business and marketing as day one. They receive access to Chromebooks, to some software subscriptions that will help them in formulating their budget and business plan. And then the next 2 days will go into their tiered training, food safety, farm safety plans, and helping them get to a statewide food supplier list.
Farming is integral to a lot of Native communities. Why was this program something the Cultural Center wanted to offer, and was there already interest from the community?
Oh, definitely. It speaks directly to our mission to support to perpetuate Pueblo culture, but also to offer opportunities for economic advancement and helping our people in the local neighborhood really reach their levels and definition for success. And of course, that speaks directly to kind of our roots with agriculture, farming, and supplying food to our community, to our family for sustenance, and also potentially now in a new market, moving it out of community with that type of produce and product.
What are you ultimately hoping people will be getting from the experience?
Primarily, and I think what young business owners, or even not even necessarily young business owners, need is community. And sometimes, especially farming and any entrepreneurial work, can seem lonely and you're doing it by yourself, so to speak. But when you can come into a room and meet with people who have similar interests, similar problems and challenges, and come from similar backgrounds, that can really be a spur to move them on to their next level and keep going and keep moving. And then also is to provide some of that technical support in training and marketing essentials and business essentials that we're hearing from the farmers. This is kind of what they're needing and they're wanting, is how we treat our farm that we've been doing maybe for generations, and treat it like a business so that it can support my community, can support my family.
When it comes to entrepreneurship, what are your views on natives entering that space?
For the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center, we're entrepreneurial in spirit. Our Pueblos and natives forever have been innovative and have been problem solvers, have really reached to support their community and have been truly resilient in our work. So I think that spirit and translating it into a modern era is very powerful. And we support any opportunity for our Native people to reach their levels and goals for success. And for many of them, it's kind of venturing out and taking work that maybe has been in their family for generations and moving it into a new era that will be kind of a business, and also what our state needs currently right now to support our local food system, and also infuse some traditional foods into the current market.
The program will flow into a kitchen facility that's being developed. What other ways do you see the Cultural Center using that addition?
It's going to be designed around food and farm businesses. So we kind of anticipate that it will help support catering businesses, food trucks, along with local farms, and hopefully aggregating that in some capacity and moving it out into a larger scale, whether it's institutions like senior center homes, Head Start, or early childhood facilities, schools, and moving that out and possibly even to a retail format.
You've offered other businesses and marketing programs in the past. What other programs are you hoping to offer in the future? How do you see the Cultural Center expanding?
So this department, or this is going to be a brand new department for the Cultural Center under our nonprofit arm, and it's called the Entrepreneur Complex, which yes has facility and yes has programming. And it's our first step, this native farmer training, which we foresee will continue cycling through either yearly or biannually. But we hope to hear and develop programming based on the needs we're hearing from our business owners, whether that's farmers or those who are interested in doing value-added product off of fresh produce or fresh items. So we're really starting to hear from the farmers that their need is a spectrum. We have beginning level people and entry level people who just need kind of understanding on how best to grow things. And then we have people that are very experienced and need more advanced technical training or technical assistance, whether that's in the business and administration side of their operations, or it could be actually some field assistance, boots on the ground type support and help.
Well, Marianne Billy, the Special Projects Manager for the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center, thank you for joining us.
Happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
That was Marianne Billy. When we come back, we visit with a history-making lawmaker and more on one of my new favorite sports, chair volleyball. Stay with us. The country's first Alaska Native Congresswoman has just completed her first 100 days in office. ICT's Mackenzie Allen Charmley has this interview with Representative Mary Peltola.
Well, Representative Mary Peltola, thank you so much for joining me. It's great to see you again. To start, congratulations on your first 100 days in office. I was hoping you could reflect on what exactly that accomplishment means to you.
Thank you, Mackenzie. It's amazing. It's been 100 days. It, on one hand, feels like 5 days, and on another hand, it feels like 500 days. Time is a weird thing here, but it has gone fast. It's gone very fast. I've been able to go home a number of times, which has been really good. Yeah, mostly it just feels like things have gone by very quickly.
What are some of the biggest challenges within your role?
Well, personally, it's very different because I'm so far from my family and my support group. And of course, I miss my children. They're in 9th and 11th grade this year. And this is the first time I've really been without my kids. But like I said, luckily, I have been able to get home now and then to reconnect. But professionally, I have had a lot of advantages, so I don't want to sound at all like I'm complaining. It's just some significant differences. Number one, we're just so far from Alaska and the way Alaskans do things. It's very, very partisan here. And of course, you know that by watching television and watching the news, but to be immersed in it is really something different. I mean, even reporters, when they give me their card, they'll say, I mostly cover Democrats, or my beat are House Democrats. And so that was very surprising because I came up in a time where Alaska was very nonpartisan, and we remain very nonpartisan and willing to work with anybody and everybody to solve problems and get through our challenges. And I also came into politics when journalists were very apolitical and they were very unbiased in regard to one party or another.
You mentioned bipartisanship, and what is it like actually working in Congress and having to navigate through that bipartisan environment?
Well, luckily I like people, and I like all people, and I don't usually see people with a partisan lens. I don't look at people and say, oh, that's a Democrat and that's a Republican. I just see them as humans first and foremost. And then the Democrats have been wonderful to work with. They were very, very helpful in making sure that I had an audience with the president to talk about Willow when we were working hard on that. They have been very welcoming and encouraging and a lot of opportunities for mentorship on both the committees that I serve on, the standing committees. There are subcommittees where I've been asked to be the alternate ranking member. So that means the alternate to the highest ranking Democrat on the committee, on the subcommittee. So really good mentorship opportunities for me to be mentored, lots of great advice. And then I also benefit because Congressman Young had been here for so had and he had welcomed literally every single member of Congress here when they were freshmen. And he has some tremendous and really deep friendships in the House. And I've had different Republicans come to me and say, you know, in essence, I still have so much love for Congressman Young and I don't know where to put it. So I'm just going to keep trying to help on issues that he cared so deeply about. So it's been very welcoming, and I haven't had any negative experiences so far in terms of partisanship. I think one of the downsides is just folks on the outside wanting to project onto me certain labels or values or agendas that I don't have and that I don't associate with. And I find surprising that people would put those attributions on me. But it has been very good working here, and I've been finding creative ways to get next to Republicans, get around them, joined caucuses where it's predominantly Republican, so I can get to know them. Because even structurally, the way that things work here is in the chamber, the Democrats are mostly on one side of the room, the Republicans on the other side of the room. In committees, it's very segregated. So being on different caucuses where there are Republicans has been very beneficial.
And what advice would you give aspiring politicians hoping to get involved in Congress and change it for a better future?
Number one, don't give up. There are many times in public service and in public policy where you might feel disillusioned. Things aren't happening quickly enough. People are dragging their feet, or, you know, just this inertia that a lot of us feel. Most policy changes take at least 10 years. So that's my biggest piece of advice is don't give up, stay vigilant. If you get depressed or disillusioned, take a nap, eat a good meal, visit with friends, and then get back at it once you're well rested, because we need people engaged for the long haul. We need to be thinking about the long game, and that is going to require that we have young people like yourself and others part of the discussion.
And finally, what are your hopes and goals for your next 100 days?
Well, I've been really focused on delivering results for Alaskans, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. I want to see the dial moved in Alaska in terms of energy, infrastructure, services, protecting freedoms. The quality of life for everyday Alaskans and Alaskan families is what I'm really focused on. One of the big issues that I care about is food security. I want to make sure that all of our families, all of our children, all of our elders have access to nutritious food. As one of the richest countries in the nation and one of the richest states in our nation, I think that there is no reason why we should not have nutritious food in every household, and every child and elder have access to that nutritious food. And service members, a lot of our service members in the military are on SNAP benefits, or on food stamp benefits. I think that we really need to do a better job supporting both people in active service and veterans to making sure that they have access to high quality and nutritious food.